So here's a practice SAT question. This one does allow for the use of a calculator, although you're going to see we don't really need it throughout the problem that we're about to look at. We've got a little sequence of problems here. 9 and 10 from this practice test both refer to the following information. So they give us this equation. That's kind of nice. They don't make us develop the equation based on what the paragraph says or anything like that. They just flat out hand it to us. And they talk about the speed of a sound wave in air depending on the air temperature. Formula above shows that relationship between A, which is the speed of the sound wave. So we've got speed of the sound wave right here as A, and that's measured in feet per second. And then T is the air temperature. So T is obviously right there, and that's being measured in degrees Fahrenheit. So what we are asked to do here is to try to determine which of the following expresses the air temperature in terms of the speed of a sound wave. So if you think about what variable represents the air temperature, we just looked at it a few seconds ago. It's T. So essentially, all this particular problem is asking us to do is rearrange this equation and get T to be isolated. So if you're going to do that, the one thing that you have to make sure you do properly is you don't do things in the wrong order. So you're going to have to make sure that when you isolate T, you're undoing the order of operations, and you're going to undo the thing that's separated from the T through addition or subtraction first, and then you're going to undo the multiplication, right? So when you undo the order of operations, undo the addition or subtraction first, then undo the multiplication. And so in this case, if we undo the plus, I'm not necessarily looking at this sign. That sign belongs to the 1.08. I'm looking at what's in front of the 1052. It's a positive, so I'm going to subtract that from the A in order to move that to the left-hand side of the equation. I then am going to have positive 1.08t isolated on the right. And then if I want to continue to completely isolate t, I divide by 1.08. If you look at the options, we definitely do see that as one of the options. It is actually option A. Now, this is multiple choice, so this isn't necessarily a mistake that you would make for a situation quite like this. But one thing that I know I've seen people do by mistake in the past is they see this number here and it's being divided by this 1.08 in the denominator. And so they fire up the calculator and they say, all right, I'm going to do 1052 divided by 1.08, and I'm going to make that look a little nicer. And they're going to write A minus whatever that 1052 divided by 1.08 is. The issue with that is this 1.08 is dividing two things. It's dividing the A, it's also dividing the 1052. So we wouldn't really be able to simplify the equation any further that way. It's probably one of the most frequently occurring mistakes I see made with a situation like this.